But speaking of that side of the world,
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival. Me and Danny have not been asked to do it.
No.
And
I was actually asked. I turned it down.
well, they told me that they would let me do it without you, and I said, "Fucking, you got the wrong guy."
Dude, they kind of fucking good cop, bad copped us. They were like prisoner dilemmaing us. They put us in different rooms, and then
Yeah. Danny already agreed for $40.
said he'd pay his way over here too.
Danny already signed you up for $40, so I think that I've not been.
I do
asked.
love the open micers who are like, I would never do this. It's like you would drive 12 hours for a drink ticket. You would drive 12 hours to do like a show at a brewery in bumfuck nowhere for 10 people.
And then you'd suck off a promoter.
Yeah, and just goes, I would never.
Well, you are right. So there is like a big war over this festival, right?
My boy Jake is picking this up now. This is a big Jake Tapper thing now. He's been covering
Taps is on
Taps
it?
all over it.
What's Taps been doing?
Tapmeister is just like, he's not liking it.
Taps isn't happy the comedians are doing it.
No. He's taking the side of the people. He goes, these people did 9/11.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, just to go back to your other point before I say my thoughts on it, like there is something to be said about anytime there's a lot of people standing up and taking a stand in this industry specifically that is full of sociopaths and psychopaths and narcissists. You're always looking around being like, sure, except you.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? You're just like, there's a lot of people that take stands and you're just like, yeah, there's something to be said about this, but you will murder your mother for 4 seconds of fame.
Yes.
Like you said, for a feature spot in Brantford, Ontario, you will slit your mother's throat like a Taliban beheading video. Happily.
Yeah.
So there's always asterisks around when you look at the people doing it, and you watch and you're just like, sure, but not you.
Yeah, and I understand the people who are like, they did 9/11, and I don't really know where because the Saudi is basically like,
there is something to be said about being Canadian where you're just like, you don't have as much of a visceral I guess.
I mean, look, if they offered me fucking $375,000 to go do an hour, I probably would have done it.
I don't. I mean, if you looked at
I don't know if it's because I'm not American.
If you look at how much people are worth, like they were doing it,
or because it was like, I actually know for a fact that my people did 9/11, but I would be like,
you're like, they didn't actually,
guys.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it this way,
be like, yo, it's so sick. You guys all wear dresses.
Thanks for taking the credit for what we. I've turned down lots of money, way higher than that for things.
Yeah.
So I will say I'm a guy that's known to turn down things, and I usually don't even tell people, like, things I've turned down, but sure. I don't really make a big stink about it. But I'm actually a pretty big turn down guy, and I'm not that motivated by money. Yeah. And if I look around at the people that like if you look at, like, what Tim got, I know what some people were getting for those things. Yeah. And if you look at their net worth versus, how much they make a year versus what that was, not that crazy. No. So for what I probably would have got, it wouldn't have, I do not lose sleep turning down big amounts of money. No. So the only thing I will say is, in my extreme loopiness, it is also very possible that it might slip through the cracks where something like this would come. I'm on tour. I get an email where they're just like, hey, there's this festival like Louis C.K.'s doing it and Bill Burr's doing it.
I mean, and
it's like Middle East.
Where Riyadh or Saudi Arabia
I'm kind of like, I'm not really like, I don't know what the difference is. I'm just like, oh, is that the place where all the crypto bros live? Right. Like, and I'm kind of not really putting it together. I'm just like, oh, that sounds cool. Yeah, maybe I would. And then not.
No, you would literally be like, they did 9/11. You're like, I thought Osama bin Laden did 9/11. What do you mean the Saudis 9/11?
So it is very possible that something like this would slip through the cracks on me. But if I actually did, put it together and I started being like, yeah, man, I turned down stuff so often.
Yeah.
Think about it. We were going to do, I've got offered multiple shows overseas that were high amounts of money that I was just like, the fucking regulations on the jokes
like,
or all this shit. I have to do the Department of Humor stuff. And you're just like, nah, I don't want to. So the idea that I would turn it down, it's like, I turn down stuff like crazy. So I think that it's very possible. And I also think I'm loopy enough that maybe one would slip through the cracks where I wouldn't even notice.
Sure. I mean, look, like, nobody's giving fucking everybody in the WWE like a hard time about performing the WWE. You're like,
they do. Remember, a lot of people get a hard time.
Not to this degree, I feel like, I don't know if like these guys are getting the kind of smoke, like, because Saudis own WWE now. You're like, I haven't heard this guy. I know when Live Golf happened, everybody.
That's what I was gonna say.
Live Golf, everybody was giving them a hard time.
Yeah,
but they were also like, these were golf fans who were like mad, where they're like, you're ruining golf. You're splitting up golf into like 2 leagues. You're like taking half the fucking best players and like just putting them in this league that like nobody watches.
Yeah, you're just taking big money and you're ruining it. There was like a
golf like purist element to it that was less to do with like the Saudi.
But even like it's the hypocrisy for some people, right? Yeah. Like there is people that your whole thing is, this, and you go, they're the antithesis, and you're getting the money directly from the government. Like I get,
if you're the speaking truth to power guy, and like not like that's your identity, like the Bill Burr, and you're like, not the greatest look, but like, I don't care, fucking
right. But you kind of are like, it depends on like what you've been saying.
Like Mark Norman is just like a comedian. Like Mark Norman is probably just like, I don't do that. So
Russell Peter is like. Been doing that.
Yeah, he's been like,
dude, he's out there DPing chicks with the fucking Saudi royals.
Shitting on chests. He's fucking having
like Schultz. Didn't he already do all those places?
Yeah, he's done. I guess like
this is different because it's coming from the government.
Yeah, this is different, and like, but he's done like a lot of those places. Yeah.
How has there not been one article that said no laughing matter on this?
Funny you say that.
You found one?
That was
Saudi festivals. No laughing matter.
Tap
Man said no laughing matter.
Yeah, the Tap Man said no laughing matter. That was the fucking. Yeah. Oh no, Tapman was no laughing matter for Kimmel getting canceled. They did this whole special, like this 1 hour special on CNN.
Oh really?
Of, like government censorship or whatever, and like with the Kimmel thing, and it was titled "No Laughing Matter." Yeah, for the whole thing. I'm sure there's been a no laughing matter for
there has to have been, but I didn't see it yet.
I haven't seen it for Riyadh.
But yeah, people are getting shit. There is definitely, it's a person by person. There's some hypocrisy. If you are American and you were, there's. Yeah. I don't know. It's like case by case, but yeah, in general, like I understand the outrage where people are like, if you're really into like, speaking about authoritarianism and totalitarian regimes, and then you take their check, like that is, I do get the idea that you go, there's a difference between taking money from the government and taking money from the thing, but I don't know. Tim was hilarious about it. He was just like, I take he's like, get paid, fuck you. Right. Like there's enough money, you just got to give people enough money and don't expect me to say your bullshit for free. And then he got fired from it, which is hilarious.
For saying they had slaves.
That's the other thing is I would also get fired from dude. I'm not. Do you know how many times I've done a corporate and it worked out?
Never. It's rare.
Do you remember when my thing where I did that billionaire conference?
Yeah.
And then I didn't follow any of the rules. People were walking out. It was not a good fucking debacle. And then I came home and I did a podcast that said I went to a billionaire conference and I fucking said all these things then I got immediately calls from people being like, you signed NDAs. And
don't talk about that.
I'd be in a fucking Saudi prison right now.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the core, because we know a lot of comics where you're like, you do have that urge when you go somewhere, they're like, you're not allowed to say this thing, where like the comedian urge is, you're like, how close can I get to the line here?
Yes. And I'm also a guy that the amount of times in my life, I think it's a mix of loopiness. I think it's obliviousness. I also think I have a high fear tolerance, or risk tolerance. Yeah. There's just so many times that I've like walked my way into a situation where as an adult had to be like a kid sitting in a teacher's office. You know what I mean? Sure. Like in the band, just being like, I remember, doing things like we would get hired to do some fucking like school or university or something. And then I'd be like making videos, and then we would go break into the guidance office at the university and just be like making videos of us like fucking around on the desks. And then and honestly, like not even like just waking up the next morning to like 9 phone calls being like, did you break into the fucking school's office and then film a video and put it online? And I'm just like, yeah, I guess that's kind of crazy. Like, dude, even when we were filming the show, right? We had the TV show, and there was so many things where like eventually we were getting sued by the fucking Holt Renfrew and all these places. And like at the time, I'm just like, oh, this is funny. Yeah, that'd be crazy. And then all of a sudden you're getting sued, and you're just like, yeah, I guess I'm like in a fucking haze of doing shit. Like as soon as I
really have a stick up their ass, huh?
I think I'm a little better now, but like I'm very much like you. I'm just like on autopilot doing stuff, and then I kind of am like, and then you kind of like wake up, and I'm like, you have managers and agents like yelling at you, being like, what the fuck were you thinking? And I'm just like, fuck yeah, you're right. Yeah. Just even at school, same thing. Suspended fucking 9 times, everything, kicked out of residence at university. Like I've gone through life escaping being in jail by the skin of my teeth, like being removed from every institution.
Sure.
You know,
I mean, yeah, when
you've signed a yuck yucks, you get kicked out of that.
Kicked out of residence.
You know, someone tells you, hey, you can do this thing, but you can't say this online. Then I do it, and then they, advertisements that I do, and they're just like, hey, you can't. It's like,
please do not disparage our product as you're doing a read for it.
Right, so it is very much an actual conflict of interest for my life to go do a gig like that. Yeah. I'm actually playing with fire.
I know, yeah.
I'm not equipped.
I mean, it's risky for sure, but yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, I mean, I don't know how much like regular people care about this, to be honest, like regular Americans, like your average American, if they're like, because obviously 99% of everything I've heard is from other comedians. Like,
no, I've seen a lot. Well, influencers. I've seen like tons of people making videos, but it's a hot topic.
Yeah, it's a hot topic. But I mean, just like your average person, you go, is this something you care about? You're like someone who's just like a fan, who's just like, you're just like a casual Dave Chappelle fan. Do you care that he went and did this?
Well, it depends on the person. I don't think Dave Chappelle fans give two shits.
No, I don't think so.
But it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely certain people where you're like, all right, bit hypocrisy from you. Certain people that you're like, I mean, that's on brand for you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.